A largely poor but effective performance from Manchester United as we beat Brighton by 2 goals to nothing in Roberto De Zerbi's last game as Brighton boss. Is he joining Manchester United? Meanwhile, for Eric Ten Hag, it will be a happy day. Honestly, getting the result is all that matters, considering how terrible this season has been. For him, it will be a case of relief, saying, "Oh, it's almost done. It's almost done." Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Here is the official match reaction of that non-convincing victory again. I think that has been the story of Manchester United this season. We have not been convincing at all, I think, in most of our victories. But what matters is a win. A win is a win, more so if you've got a big game to prepare for in a cup final against Man City, the same team that beat you to the title the previous season. Honestly, it was a good way for Man United to prepare for this particular one. So you clearly would say, I think, in that game that Eric Ten Hag was planning for this game, but with one eye on the Manchester City game. He wanted to win it, yes, but he had one eye on the Manchester City game, and indeed, he got the result. The formation, the 4-2-2-2 formation, that looked a bit convincing, but trying to bring a bit of compactness. I sort of credit him for that, for trying to come up with something different, because I didn't want him to again come back with this single pivot style again and again. I thought he tried to change it around, and it was different. It wasn't good or good looking to the eyes. It was confusing. Players looking out of position, a bit confused with it, but. It is okay. At least he tried to change something. Honestly, you are, as a manager, you're justified to tinker if your basic your known systems don't work. So it's okay. It delivered the W, and that's what would matter. But for me, the take home from this game mostly is how good that boy Rasmus Hojlund is. He scored his 16th goal of the season in his first season in charge. And honestly, how many times can we go back and forth about how terrible this season has been, not just for Manchester United, but particularly for Rasmus Hojlund as a footballer. And whereas he scored 16 goals, convinced the jury out there that he's a brilliant striker. Rooney scored 17 in his first season at Manchester United. So for him to score, probably I believe he will score against Manchester City too. I think he's in the mood. And when a good striker is on their purple patch, they don't stop. So Man City should stand warned with this good form of Hojlund coming off the bench to comfortably score with his weak right foot. I think Manchester City should be worried of what's coming for them on the 25th next weekend. But the thing is, if Hoyland has scored all these goals in what has been a poor season with guys don't wanting to pass the ball to him, him trying to grind the goals for himself, honestly, it shows you how good he is. And the last 2 goals he has scored have been clear, I think, a testament to how good he is as a footballer. The things I've been saying here, that Hoyland is beyond just being just a goal scorer. He is he is a proper footballer. He's a complete footballer, because hadn't he been a complete footballer, I don't think he would have scored even a half of the goals he scored this season, because only a few of those were set up and easy tap-ins. Most of them were created literally out of nothing. So how good a player is he? I think that is what he's beginning to show. He's continuing to show us, and again, it would guide us and Ineos as we go into the summer, which kind of striker we should bring in to partner with him. How much should we spend on that striker? What do we want to achieve from that striker? So I think that's an important one. But the other thing, guys, and I don't know whether you are paying attention to this. For me, when I was coming to watch this game, I was focusing mostly on, honestly, like I told you, this was a preparation game for Man City. For me, I was focusing on reading the atmosphere, because we are trying to know what exactly is going on in De Zerbi's life. Where is Roberto De Zerbi headed? Bayern denied him. I said, honestly, I think he's either joining Juventus or Manchester United. I don't think he's taking a sabbatical. It's not happening. I think he's joining. But I was trying to read the atmosphere. But if you read it in the stands, Jason Wilcox, you saw how he was talking to I think it was Sadev Brailsford. Then I was told Omar Berada was there. I didn't see him, honestly. I think I missed him while I was watching the game. Had probably tried to peep and see what was going on with the Man City game, but I was told Berada was there as well. Someone commented it on a WhatsApp group I'm on. I didn't see him honestly. So by the time I came up with this video, I wasn't sure. I hadn't verified whether he was there at Old Trafford, at rather in the stadium or not. But the atmosphere around the director's box, and then how De Zerbi was greeting United players, the Lisandro Martinez, and the way his face was pretentious. Even the players looked pretentious, like they don't know what's happening. It was fishy. And then Eric Ten Hag was not exactly so happy and excited about the win. He looks, and I've seen this in the last games, by the way. Eric Ten Hag looks dejected and subdued, like he has lost a bit of that energy, that fire in him. Is it coming down to the end of the season? Even in his speech at the end of the last game at Old Trafford, I was trying to read him and see the non-verbal signs. This guy could be going, by the way. And guys, I don't know this guy, and I'm sure certain people will be praying for this. Some will be going, no, it shouldn't happen. But I'm lucky. This game is lucky, leaving me feeling like maybe De Zerbi is the guy Ineos has zeroed down on. Maybe De Zerbi is the one replacing Eric Ten Hag. You saw honestly how the Brighton dominated the game. That's why I said it was a largely poor performance, but effective. Brighton were not effective, and effectiveness goes down to the quality of players, not the coach really. At times, if your players are not good quality, they won't be effective. They will fail to beat a world class goalkeeper like Andre Onana. So it's it was fishy, honestly. It was fishy for me. But we officially finished eighth in the league, and we are hoping now to go to Wembley and give a proper ending to the season. Eric Ten Hag promised to deliver the title. We do hope he can. Excuse me, guys, I've drank a lot of water after the game. But we do hope we can take the FA Cup title. I think again that would be a good thing, a feel good thing. Honestly, largely it's just a feel good thing. Not that beating Man City or fumbling into a victory over Man City would mean anything. It would just be a feel good thing because the reality is we know how bad our season has been, and there is no title right now that is going to change that. Even if we won the Premier League in some way, Man City is being investigated. They remove the title from it. Then Arsenal I think could also be found guilty of something, and they are dropped. Then Aston Villa, I don't know. There's a video I watched on TikTok. Some guy trying to a comedian I think trying to explain how Man United could be Premier League winners, and he was creating funny scenarios that anyhow. But the reality is no title. What I'm trying to say is that no title would change the fact that this has been a terrible season for Manchester United with bad luck, full of bad luck, full of disinterested players, full of the only good thing about the season is the transition with Ineos coming in. I think that's the only good thing. And of course, the young players who have excited us from Kobe to Hojlund, a bit of Garnacho he had his time, then to what else? Bruno, of course, we've loved Bruno all season. He has been our best player without a shadow of a doubt. But there's not much really. And Amad Diallo maybe at the end of it, but there's not much right home about this season, is there? Casemiro as well in this game, I think putting on a man of the match performance. I thought again, Casemiro, guys, the reality is we could be divided about Casemiro, but Casemiro's seniority and is needed in the rebuild we're having, and we would use him if he stayed. The only issue is I don't think this Saudi guy, rather this South American guy, would take a pay cut to stay. The issue with Casemiro is his wages. It's not whether he's still important or needed at Man United or not. But I mean, the guy is earning nearly £340,000 per week. But we see in terms of what he gives physically, he's not really up there. He's getting injuries and all, and but he's still an important player because players can learn a lot from Casemiro's presence. That's the reality. But we don't think he can take a pay cut to stay. That's the only reason why he most likely will leave. Because first of all, he probably does. He released an interview. Sky Sports released an interview. I think just either today or yesterday, him talking about how he doesn't like being disrespected. Last season he was the best signing in the Premier League. Then this season everyone is calling him, so bad. Yet he had injuries and all, and he's playing out of position. So that the disrespect I think gets to them, and he's feeling bad, and probably that's what perhaps could even trigger his feelings to want to leave without even listening to a new offer or something. If United want to take to reduce his wages, on another day he could have perhaps taken a pay cut. I don't think it's really about money for him. but he would have taken a pay cut to stay and play a little longer, and maybe after one season go to Saudi and make money, because the Saudi league will still be there. They'll still have money. They'll still want him. But I think the situation that has, the way things have gone in the last 5 or so games he has played as a centre back, I think he doesn't think he wouldn't, and I wouldn't too if I were him. He wouldn't really want to take a pay cut to stay. He would rather go and make his money and move on with his life. But that said, I won't give these players, ratings. I won't go into the usual player ratings because it was a warm-up game. Really, it was a preparatory game for the ultimate one, the FA Cup final. But the biggest take home for me is how important Hojlund is. Eric Ten Hag rested sees some of his important players, from Lisandro Martinez, got a few minutes there. Rafael Varane got a couple of minutes there. Johnny Evans, of course. Then Bruno was substituted off, I think, but it should be the first time in so many. I don't know. I don't remember if Bruno ever started the game and was pulled off this season. You can remind me if I've forgotten. If it happened, it was once. But again, it shows you that Ten Hag was looking at the upcoming game, the FA Cup final. So yeah, it was an effective performance, but that's all we can say about it. Let's wait now for the 25th of this month of May and see what exactly Man City will bring. The champions, we need to stop them from taking the double. Honestly, we do, and we can. And I think we shall do it. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll catch you later.